and we request Dr. Y.S. Rajan, Honorary Distinguished Professor, Department of Space, Government of India and Chairman, Board of Governors, NIT Manipur, to receive the first copy of the souvenir.
Masters in Physics from Bombay University in 1964. His mental prowess enabled him to be the Dr. Vikram Sarabhai Distinguished Professor at ISRO Headquarters, Chief Mentor of ISRO Strategy Group and Vice President, All India Dayanand Anglo-Vedic College Managing Committee, a network of 615 high-quality schools and 60 colleges throughout India. His strong determination and sheer dedication made him a Distinguished Fellow of World Academy of Arts and Science, a Nobel Lifetime Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineers, and a lifetime elected member of International Astronautical Academy, Paris, since 1986. This multifaceted persona exhibited his knowledge and plethora of skills working with Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, and NASA for about 3 years. Dr. Rajan is a man of letters and has authored many books. As an esteemed principal advisor of CII between 2004 and 2010, he created a unique mechanism for industry-university collaboration. At present, he is an honorary professor in the Department of Space, Government of India, and the Chairman, Board of Governors, National Institute of Technology, Manipur. We now request our distinguished Professor, Dr. Y.S. Rajan, to deliver the inaugural address.
Still I can wish you good morning to everybody. Just there is some few minutes left. Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, the faculty, the teachers, other well-wishers, students, and I understand there are some school students way back down there, and media and all others who are present here. It's a great pleasure to be again in the Bannari Institute. My tryst with Bannari Institute dates back to more than a decade, when it was under conception stages, it was under the thought, not physically, nothing was there. So Balasubramanian had told me, because we used to interact for various other reasons of industry interaction, sugar industry, etc. in those days when I was involved. He told me, I'll show you something very different, a different type of engineering college. I said, can we go? No, it will take a couple of years. Then he did indeed, once I had come. I think I had participated in one of the future also. I have seen almost every one of those textile will be there, Vittal will inaugurate or something like that. Each one of it, I know them. Now I understand a big library is coming. So every time when I come, something different comes. No wonder it got into a fairly rigorous methodology. I was explaining to Dr. Cynthia Pandian about the methodology of the ASCI survey. No wonder it gets it. Of course, one thing is that to list on laurels is not to be done. I am a special message to all students, all faculty and everybody. There are many more peaks to scale. Every time you get it, remember there are many more peaks to scale. The word future himself, all the earlier speakers said, it denotes future. We all want a bright future, a prosperous future, a happy future, a healthy future. All positives, no negatives. Also no uncertainties. That's what we want. That's the nature of human being. We all want it. Hold on to it, fine. At the same time, we should also pragmatically and boldly face the realities of today. Now I am going to ask all of, normally I don't give a talk like this, I ask a lot of questions. I am going to ask all of you to raise hand for 2 items. Younger one, older one, anybody can do it. Please do respond one way or another. How many of you have hope in the future of India? Those who have hope, raise hands. No, you don't have to if you don't feel, okay? It is a question of exercise of being truthful. How many of you have got hope in your own future? India, let it go, but my own future. Okay, good. This is normal exercise I do. I tell people to, here I have to do it fast. I normally do it somewhere in between when you are all with me. Because you have to be truthful. I find roughly similar pattern. People who have faith in their own future, young people, even a little older one, and future of India, they are not so great. And relatively elder people say that they have got a faith in the future of India. The reason is they have seen something atrociously terrible when they were young, when I was also young. Then it has come. But is that enough? That's the question we need to pose. Present is, now I am going to, my talk is next 25 years, bold steps, new mindsets. 20 years is nothing but the young people here. You all will live close to 100. Whether you like it or not. Probably in those days euthanasia may come, but still many of you will be quite healthy, maybe a replaced part, replaced knee, something, but you will be having quite healthy than what I am. When I was born, average was 36, 32. Girl was 26, my sister. Now I am past this much, and many of the older people will go easily to 85. You will all go to 90, therefore, anyway, I will come to that later. Therefore, present is conditioned by the past. Future is conditioned by the present. You cannot, this is the law of life. Therefore, just to dream of a future is of little use. Similarly, to get stuck with the present and keep on moving the same groove is also useless. It will not give the desired changes. You are talking about changes, very important, but the changes don't come by itself. It is no less an authority than Einstein. He has said very beautifully, said that the greatest madness he notices in people is that they keep on repeating the same thing repeatedly, do again and again, yet expect different results. That is the greatest madness. So, if you want to have changes, the fact that you feel that India is not future, I am not very sure. You want to change it, you have to be bold steps. Bold steps, new mindsets. Now, worse still is to stuck with the glories of the past. Subramanya Bharati says, he is the first founder, university, Bharatiyar University, Vice Chancellor, Professor Subramanian is there. வீணாக பழங்கதைகள் பேசுவதிலோ பயனொன்றில்லை. I am telling it in English. Futile talks of the past glories will not yield any result. So you want future, you have to have. So to come to the title of the talk, let us say, be ready for bold steps and new mindset. I will touch upon a few of them. That one thing I have talked about 60 years from now. This was in the Bharathidasan University, another great man, named in which it is Tiruchi. That was in 12th October 2007, before you heard of recessions. At that time, I had talked about the next 60 years. The reason is, those who just graduate, who are students, will be just 85 only. You would not have retired. You will not be allowed to retire. I told them the reasons and all. I am not going to get all that. And it can be seen in my website downloaded. Or you just go Google, you will get the 60 years. You will get it. My website is www.ysrajan.com. In the same section, you see articles. Why I said so? I said that the next 15 years, that is 2017 to 2017 plus, is a period of a rapid cataclysmic growth. Rapid cataclysmic growth. I did not envisage the financial collapse, but I saw the financial juggling. My physics says you can't keep on expending money without primary production. Primary production is important. Agriculture and manufacturing was giving a lower feed. Financial services, it was all bubble of the financial services. And then the IT narrated. But India benefited. It had IT industry. Because of that, higher paying jobs. Because of that, an auto sector, it grew. But we grew without depth. World also, Europe and everybody, they were churning. It is just like having a beer glass and keep on churning it and get a froth. You want to have a beer in the bottle, then only you will get it. So that is what was happening into the actual one. But that is what the bubble burst, means the bubble is bursting. So therefore you need to remember one thing. You need to create durable agricultural and manufacturing things with depth. If that is done in the next 10 years or so, 10 years is the minimum unit of time. Somebody who says business at the speed of light, it is only that financial transaction here are getting something in the ATM. Even to load the ATM, to manufacture the ATM, there is a manufacturing there. This all don't go by those stocks. Therefore, I will just tell you some items which I have learned through a lot of experience from mine and many others. Innovative India can come only after that base of basic growth. There has to be enough money in the hands of people. Many of you in the middle class, you are lucky. Your parents are somehow managed to get you here. And at that time when I was small, this thing was only 0.5% of the people in the age cohort used to go to universities. That is why some people say, in those days, universities are very great. You go and talk to a man in 75, 80, they will say that. They don't like expansion. We need to expand. Even now it is bad. We need to have 40% of the people good commercializable jobs. Skills. Degrees beyond 12, 4 years. Other 60 is a different matter. Now, I will not go into say more on this. But be ready that next 10 years what you do, you will create the next another 20 years. That will be an innovative India, not before. In India is now largest amount of symmetry. You know symmetry is CEMETRY of all innovative ideas. That is why we are not producing anything made in India. But that will happen. Current situation. We are. Can you say that 2011, 2012 was a great year? How many of you say that 2012 was a great year? It was a jinxed year. 2011 was partly so. Because another thing, job creation, new job creation was at a snail's pace. Nothing was the speed. But more students are coming out of school. It ought to be. Children are born, people are married, they are young, they have to get children, they will come out. They need price rise, income loss, many other societal agitation, coming into open of the several scams which were talked about in the corridors of power. I have heard so many of them in Delhi. For me, many of them are not new. There is a pall of bloom, and it is now this 2013 you are gone. Your future is there in amidst this mess. Yes, we have to move upward only when we understand why we went down from the rate of, we would have about to 10%, we didn't. We went down. Why it is, I am going to only touch upon a few things. The reason is, even after liberalization, we did only on the shallow. We were not ready to do a difficult one. Even most students I have interacted with, they all love to be behind a computer and then do. I used to go for career counseling many places, they will ask, sir, in mechanical engineering if I take, do you have to work with some hand, we have to go there? I said, even for a computer you will have to lift. You chaps want to be sitting in a air conditioned place, it can't be so. Engineer have to be ready to go to the field. People don't want to go. You can't build a country like that. The post decades of then you would have seen India 2020. Many ask me, what has happened? If you look at that, growth rate which was projected there were much lower because it was written at a time 1995. World was down, but even then we gave 7 and 8. But it had a lot of items, agriculture, agro-processing and each one of them, they were all forgotten. Everybody chased the financial services and etc. Okay, it gave manufacturing. But on a long term, you cannot build a Gopuram on a thing which is foundation which is dug, which is equivalent to agriculture, and the pillars which are equivalent to manufacturing. That is what is plaguing India. We require a lot of engineering work, not just scientific papers or even patents. We need a lot of engineering work down on the ground, creating wealth. It has to create wealth. Subramaniam used to say, Subramaniam used to say, productive wealth, productive work, reproductive wealth. If the money doesn't multiply with the productive work, it is like a beer in that froth. You can't drink it. It can only come on the face. And people like beer with me, it will be much worse. So, the GDP, it is about using, it is not only, our Vision 2020 was not only about using the global economy for GDP growth, but also to develop core strength within Indian agriculture, in fishing, mining, manufacturing, infrastructure building, materials, energy, electronics, strategic sector. In the then 1996, much of it did not take place. We have become the greatest importer of arms and military equipment. We are the first now. We have moved up to first. This is one first you should not get. That means loss of jobs. A huge amount, 60,000 crores of rupees importing every year. Those value addition ought to have been taken place here in India. Need not necessarily be invented in India. It could have been done in India. But we all like soft approach. Soft approach to globalization and not dismantling the intrusive centralized structures, license, permit, quota, inspector Raj. Even now, why this thing came down? Suddenly, past income taxes will be opened up. Then there is a GAR. There are so many things like this. It will run away, investors will run away. Because money has to be reproduced. They take risk. Agriculturists take risks. We are going to control them and then make them food prices. So these are all issues. I am not going to dwell on it in detail. I am writing extensively in Kisan Dol. Dr. Mahalingam specially requested me. I am writing on many items. Another thing is populist economic one. We all think, give money. Fellow is suffering, give money. It doesn't work. There is a great saying in Bible, don't give a fish to a person, teach them how to fish. So the thing is, basically we need to make people work and earn. That will also give them self-respect. So this is another one. Added on to this, lot of self-flagellations about corruption, black money, so many things. Black money cannot be wished away. It has grown over 1947 onwards. In Kalki in 1950, I have read that for the getting party tickets, where there was virtually only one party, money was paid. Then after the editorial, it says that, I read it after 50 years, because they passed 50 years. It says, since Jawaharlal Nehru and Rajaji are there, we hope that this will not take place later. But it grew leaps and bounds. We have to be pragmatic, not high moral grounds. Political parties require money. Elections require money. Let us be very practically approach it and how to bring that money, not by driving them away, how to use it to create industries in India so that most of you can get jobs. So this is the one. Money is required to open a college, open an industry, open anything. Don't think that I am only telling. Thiruvalluvar has told it. Arulennum anbiyin kulavi porulennum selvat cheviliyal varum. I am not going to expand it. Some of you go and read it. Arulennum anbiyin kulavi means child. Porulennum selvat cheviliyal varum. You read it now. I am not going to say further. So, my dear Indians, while India has many positives, it has still many more negatives. Therefore, the status in which India has reached now, which is not given, which is given in that book, is far away. What is given in the book? China has followed most of those strategies. They would have arrived at it in their own way. I am not saying they saw the book and did it, but they followed it. Now they rose up. We coming down. Now face the facts. Let us stand up and stop sloganeering. Let us face the stark facts, and we need to address. I am not going to list everything. We have 700 million poor people, a negative fact. A middle class, 400 million. You are all there. I am also there. Positive. And then a few rich, about 100 billion. That is again positive. Our poor have been the shock absorber for our economy. We can't continue it for too long. 2. In global trade, IT, manufacturing, put anything, we are only 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%. That's all. We all say we are a superpower. We need to address it. I need not remind the listener about the reader to judge about India's place in the world of sports. You know what it is. I don't want to say anything on that. That is correlated with your other hard approaches in life. India has become a member country in purchase of military systems. I have already told you. Science and technology, in which community I also belong. Now it is 50,000 crore of rupees of central government taxpayers' money. How much is taking place? Indian-made product. Look at it. Very abysmal. We have to face this fact. Simply say, oh, our great scientists are next to the one in the world. It's standard speeches. No use. You have to say what it is. Then only you will make in India. Indian healthcare system is relatively better, but still it has to reach the poor and the lower middle class. Dr. Sindhya Pandian mentioned about it. Most of the people survive in India not because of our medical system. Our pharma system is something very good. It produces cheap, very good product. And it is available in illegal methods. What is control method is not working. Thank God. I thank God that the systems, if you have to follow the rule, in which the drug fellow has to give, all of them will die. They will say, go to a doctor, get a thing, like 100 rupees, 2 days of loss, they do it. It is because of that Indians are living, but we need to find. And many of the things like cholera, etc., cholera, polio, many of them have been eradicated. That is a very good plus point on the government side. Above all, when we loudly proclaim India's youth power, Gen Z, we should remember that only 2% of the children are able to get some good education. You are all belong to the 2%. Other 98 having problem. The madam told about the other degrees, arts and other things. Most of them cannot get jobs. It is not that 1%, this 2% will mostly get jobs. The other one, what generally in the north they will call falana degree, they will say. All sorts of these things, and they don't. We are not orienting them. But what we need to do, we need to have in another 10 to 20 years, 50% of Indians getting good degrees like what you have. Not necessarily engineering, law, chartered accountant, so many other things are there. Journalism, variety of them. Another 50, very advanced, economically, commercially useful one. Now 70% go away in 5th standard. I won't deal more on this. I have addressed it in a book called Way Beyond 3 Hours. I'm happy that Mr. Vijayaraghavan read it. First thing he told me, I read it. I have given a very nice thing because we have to worry about it totally. Now I don't want to add more of problems because I don't want you to make bad. Now positives. What are the things? Most of our rich and super rich, though they are accused of being crony capitalism, have good business management capability. understand this. Indians are good business managers. Whether it is Bala Subramaniam or any one of it, they all know how to do globally competitive. The opening up did not knock them off, even though there was no government support. And to work in India, if you can work in India, you can work anywhere. Horrible, one of the most horrible country in terms of regulatory system for business. I'm telling you, the worldwide quoted, we are some 150th or 158, slightly better than maybe Somalia. So we need to understand that. So that is a very good positive. Many of you can become businessmen also. 400 odd Indian middle class, about 200 have very good world class competitive school. Fellows like you. You are not today innovative leaders, but you are good followers. If Oracle has done it, next somebody shows it, you immediately do it. Somebody teaches you, you do it. So that's good enough, but that is a strength. Creative industries in India, films, performing art, music, all these items, animation, we are again very good. In spite of severe constraints of life in India, though only a small percentage like you are passionate about doing, going up, you all want to go up in life. That passion is necessary. In our time, it won't be there. Oh, whatever comes is okay. கடவுள் கொடுப்பாரு அதை பார்த்துக்கலாம் அப்படி இல்லை. You are all want to do it. So that is good. Indian diaspora abroad, they are very good. In fact, today's news says 3 million Indians celebrating Obama, etc., etc. They don't know India's problem. Don't take these NIOs, PROs, I think they are very good fellows, but if they give you a solution for India, don't take it just like that, because they don't know India. They went 20 years ago India, 30 years ago India, but they are very good. They can be utilized very well because they have a lot of global skills. And more importantly, India is not written off case by investors. That's a very positive. In spite of all these problems, agitation, this one, that one, terrorism, nobody has written it off yet. But if it continues like this, in 5-6 years, it may get written off. It is not good for you people. We have enjoyed our life. But at the very bottom, we have come up. Very bottom of an India. And us also, we were also in the bottom. You people need to do. Therefore, what next? I am a person who doesn't only tell what it is, what is the next. I hope you are able to first face the stark facts and potential positive and be ready to move forward. Are you willing to move forward? How many of you are willing to face the facts? Very few. You don't want to say, you want to say everything is beautiful about India. There's a lot of things in the young that they're opening up. Be bold. Don't do it now. Think about it. As I had pointed out to you about the Einsteinian remark, if we want changes, you have to change the methods of working. Okay? Let me illustrate the mindset change. I am going very fast now. For example, I would say corruption, safety, security of women, saving farmers, etc. I think, are you able to hear me in the back? Are you able to hear me in the back? Okay. Because my voice will compensate for the loss of amplification. For many complex issues like corruption, safety, security of women, saving farmers, we end up with one-point solution. Have a new act. Make a very difficult situation. Everything act. One more paper, gone. Everybody forgets, it cannot be implemented. For corruption, enact Lokpal. Build back money, bring back money from abroad. Expose, give a list of account holders. Arey Baba, the list which you have got is not even 0.1% of the total. The money is about 15% of our GDP is locked up there. And it was so before also. Don't think it is today, 70s, 80s. There was a recently one paper, one thing occurred in the Times of India, they immediately withdrew it. There's been done a serious study. Then instead of black money to increase legal investments, make them try to think of legal investments in India, convert them into legal investments. Then it can create jobs for you. Another thing, farmer suicide. Agricultural land should not be bought by anybody. Most of the agricultural land are not worth being so. They are named because they are named so. Most of them are not irrigated, they don't have access. In fact, India's agriculture, in 2020 we are given there 169 million hectares. You can get 3-4 times more production with 100 million hectares. You need job for industries and others. Anyway, that is the one. We need urgently offload people from dependent on agriculture 60. Oh, agriculture, India lives in villages, agriculture. You want 60% of people producing a wealth of 18%. They will be perpetually poor. You need to offload them. I'm glad that sugar industry is here. Then they are creating other ones. This is a service industry. In my language, I will call it a service industry. In economics, everything is industry. Anything that deals with money is an industry. These things employ people. There will be so many families dependent on this. When I was Vice Chancellor of Punjab Technical University, I used to look at each college. About 500 families will be on each college, whether it is good or bad. Somebody has to give food, somebody has to give this one, somebody has to give murgi, everything. So you need to create those structures, creating such industries around to see that the skills in which they can give, don't tell them to become PhDs overnight or a great electrical users. You have to use it, and then that is where a lot of entrepreneurship is involved there. Business acumen is involved there. Similarly, for solving the ills of education, don't be simply say, oh, single point exam. Create more IITs and NITs. Your educational stress will go up. You don't know where the money has gone. So the thing is, you need to do one laptop for one child. Most places in India don't have electricity. So we should think in terms of different new mindset. What is the new mindset required? Forget all that mindset, remove it, throw it off. Doesn't matter. My appeal to you all is to jettison the single point solutions to complex issues. Life is complex. If somebody tells you one solution, that person, he or she is suspect. Don't follow, whoever it is. It is an integrated approach, but doesn't mean coordination between various departments. In India, coordination between various departments have killed many innovative ideas. So don't follow that. But instead, you should start with 5 or 10 items, best judged to be implementable fast, and yet will yield beneficial results soon. I mean, including for you. You should not sacrifice your life. It is possible for most problems facing us. I am telling you with a deep analysis of many of it, I will written down. Another thing is, remove the this versus this. I will tell you some. Agriculture versus industry, renewable energy versus coal, government versus private, equity versus fast economic growth, rich versus poor, profit versus taxes, research versus teaching, basic sciences versus engineering, cyberspace learning and conventional versus, you add versus. Then you can add more and more and more. But real life, I can tell you from my experience and then the experience of so many others which I was fortunate to have, nothing in life is black and white or black or white. It's grey.